What's going on, guys? Welcome back to my channel. This is Leo's Nerd Talk, and today we're going to be talking about Nosferatu. So let's get into that. Hi, my name is Leo, and via anytime with a movie, TV show, video game related, or just anything nerdy, you have come to the right place. And like I said, today we're talking about Nosferatu. So without further ado, let's get into the review. Now, Nosferatu is a remake of the 1920-21, I believe, Nosferatu original film that was also a adaptation of the Dracula book. And I was very, very excited for this one. I watched the original Nosferatu from 1920 or so a couple months back, and I was pleasantly surprised at how much I enjoyed that movie, especially it being a silent movie in black and white, very low quality, of course, because of the camera quality back then, and also just the technology that they had to even make these films. I was very, very impressed back then when I saw the original movie of how they were able to capture the horror of the Nosferatu vampire within that hour and 10-minute long movie and tell a very compelling story that was actually intriguing and you wanted to keep yourself invested in. So I was very excited to see what they were going to do with this remake and see how they were going to translate that silent film into a modern day film with adding new effects, new camera tricks, actual dialogue happening on screen at all times. I was very, very excited to see what they were going to do with that. And for the most part, I was very, very pleased. Now, starting with my pros, I'll go straight into it. I think performances across the board were absolutely amazing. I think everybody that was in this movie did an amazing job, from the smallest role all the way to the biggest role. I think everybody definitely captured what they were trying to do on screen. You were definitely invested in all these characters, you know, with their dialogue exchanges, the way they emoted, the way some of the people were like being possessed, and their physical movements that made it very, very creepy and crazy to watch what was going on screen. Everything felt like everyone was going at their best, trying to make this movie a staple in the horror community, and I felt like they did a great job. Everybody, in my opinion, did an amazing job with their performances. Visually, I thought this movie was also very pleasing. The shot choices, the way they did everything, the way Robert Eggers was able to direct all these shots and frame everything, it definitely felt very deliberate. I really enjoyed the way these shots looked, the way the colors look. It felt very eerie, and still also throwing in some of the kind of visuals of the original movie where you see Nosferatu using his shadow as some sort of power to manipulate things and control people and move objects and stuff. So I like that they kept that aspect of it within this movie, and I felt like Robert Eggers was able to, for sure, adapt the original movie and make it in a way where if you've seen the original, you can see where this could be a shot-for-shot remake, but kind of make it his own, change things a little up, obviously adding some more scenes, adding some inner portions of the movie that to kind of lengthen it out a little bit, of course. And I think even in those moments, they were directed beautifully. They merit their existence. I enjoyed every scene and sequence that was going on here. You know, even the ones that weren't the best and might felt a little awkward, which we'll get into a little bit in the cons, it still felt like you were encaptured of what was going on screen. You enjoyed everything. It felt very creepy, very eerie, very awe, you know. So I really enjoyed the directing, really enjoyed the visuals, enjoyed the story that they're trying to tell here. I think they did a great job of immersing us into this time. You know, I think they did a great job to world build us very, very easy. So when you go into these couple of scenes, you definitely feel like you're in this like 1800s Germany, like that this movie kind of takes place in. So I think they did a great job with the set designs, directing, visuals, costume design, all that stuff to definitely indulge you into this period piece here. Of course, I enjoy and champion always practical effects. I'm pretty sure everything on Nosferatu was practical, at least it looked practical to me. So I'm always going to champion that. Practical effects are always going to be better. They look better and they always age better as well as the movies get older. So all the practical effects, all the gore and bloods and guts that they kind of threw in here, all looked really, really great and really believable as well. And lastly, before I give you my overalls and the positive, is a lot of people might be asking this question. I'm not sure if they are, but if you guys are asking the question, is does this movie merit its existence when we have the original, which is a horror classic? And for me, I absolutely believe this movie merits its existence. You know, remakes, especially shot-for-shot remakes, are a little weird when you see them coming out 10 to 20 years apart from each other. But this is an over 100-year-old movie being re-adapted into this 21st century with movie technology, I think it merits just in that aspect alone of seeing what our movie directors, our producers, our cameras can do to tell that amazing story in a new light where it doesn't taint the classic. That's always going to be a classic. And even if this was an exact shot for shot remake and there was nothing changed, I still think just purely for the visuals, the practical effects, and the dialogue would merit its own existence. But this obviously gives us a lot more than just that shot for shot remake. You know, so like I said, overall, this is just an enjoyable, great horror movie. It has some great scares in there, very creepy, an immersing story, something that you can definitely compel yourself in. Even for me, going into like basically a midnight showing, tired as I can possibly be, I didn't need to force myself to stay awake. You know, when a movie is boring, I'll fall asleep quick. This kept me up even into 2 in the morning. So that's how you can tell how much I enjoy this movie, when something like this can keep me up in a movie theater when I'm extremely tired, especially right after Christmas. And one little positive, this might be a Christmas movie. This movie takes place in the season of Christmas. There's Christmas trees in the back. So, you know, you can take this as a Christmas movie if you really want to. I mean, I wouldn't mind watching this on the Christmas season. It's definitely an enjoyable watch. So that could be another little positive there for me as well. And as for the cons, I really don't have much here. There's probably slight things that could bug someone, could feel a little weird. You know, there's certain sequences that in my opinion, if you've never seen the original, it might throw you off, because I feel like they try to do some sort of choppy camera work on purpose to make the movie feel more trippy than it needed to be. And it could probably throw some viewers of what exactly is happening on screen. How are people getting to these locations and things like that? So the way they kind of visually did some of the sequences where someone is like standing up or they're on the floor about to get, you know, attacked by Nosferatu, and then all of a sudden they're on the bed and Nosferatu's above them already sucking their blood out. Like, it can be very trippy. And if you don't recognize the scene from the original, you might be like, how do characters get to these locations? And I think they did the camera work, or they did these shots in a way to make it feel more of like a mind trip. And it might be kind of confusing when you're just watching it for the first time. And secondly, this is not really like a big one, but there are certain sequences where there's a kind of strange kind of conversations going on between characters, where you have these really creepy possession type sequences where people are kind of just moving around very like possessed like and demonic like, and then 2 seconds later a character says a certain line and they start just having sex. You know, like that was a very just strange scene for me. I was watching it, I was like, it didn't throw me out of the movie. I wasn't like, oh, what the fuck's going on with this movie? It was more so like, that's a interesting choice, but I don't mind it. It's whatever's. It's kind of weird. It doesn't fully make sense, but I guess I'll take it. It's interesting. It's new. I like it. It's cool. You know, so it's one of those things where for some people, you might have some audience members, which some of mine did, where that sequence happens and they end up laughing. And it's not supposed to be a funny moment, but they laugh because it was such a weird switch up, you know. And there were certain sequences within the movie where it was supposed to be serious. It was supposed to be very creepy and intended to be taken seriously, and some of the audience members had a chuckle out of it. So that's not a nod, or like, that's not terrible for the movie. I think that's fun that people are still engaging within the movie regardless if it's supposed to be funny or not. But there were moments like that where even me, I was like, that's kind of funny, and it wasn't supposed to be. But overall, I thoroughly enjoyed Nosferatu. I was very happy I was able to go watch it Christmas night. I'm a big fan of going to the movie theaters Christmas night as one of my Christmas traditions. But this one is a must watch for me. If you enjoy vampire movies, if you love the original Nosferatu movie from back in the early 1900s, I would 100% give this one a shot. But that's going to be it for this one, guys. If you guys like talking with movie, TV shows, or video game related, make sure to hit that like and subscribe button. I'll see you guys on the next video. Thank you.